Good morning, everybody. It's Lisa, and today is Friday, December 22nd, 2017. I have absolutely no idea what week this is for my post duodenal switch. I know it's in the 40s. I think it might be 43. So I I'm a little loopy still, guys. My brain is really not functioning very well since surgery. And interestingly enough, it's not because of pain medication, because I can't take any. It's just, I think, like surgery throws you off. But at any rate, that's my puppy sleeping in the background. It's like 4:30 in the morning here, and my hours are completely screwed up. So, yeah. I am 48 years old. I am 5'2". I had traditional duodenal switch surgery on February 24th of 2017. Stats, guys, I will tell you, I did actually get on the scale this morning, but I had major surgery on Tuesday of this week, and I am overloaded with fluids. So I did get on the scale, and I think last week I was like 168, I believe, even. And this week I'm at 177 point something. So I'm not concerned. It is water and swelling, So anyway, it sucks to see that number, but it's not a real number, so it's okay. I'm not going to fret about it. Definitely need to increase my fluids and my movements. But I came home from the hospital yesterday, so that was in the hospital 2 days for a major hip revision. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about that, but I'm going to try as best as I can to keep this video short or shorter because it could be very lengthy. But I have to tell you about some hospital NSVs. First off, I told you I'm allergic to pain medication, and anytime I've ever been under general anesthesia, it's kind of a nightmare because when I come out, I'm vomiting, uncontrollably vomiting. I usually have severe like migraine where the kind where you're seeing white spots and things like that. And it will go on for at least 24 hours post-surgical. But I didn't have general anesthesia to have my hip revision done. And my hip revision was extensive, which I can explain as well. But I have to tell you about this. So the anesthesiologist met with me and we were talking about the general anesthesia, and we were discussing what they were going to try to keep me from having all this vomiting. And then he said, well, you're thin enough that I could do a spinal on you. I'm thin enough. Okay, and that's huge. So what we opted for was a spinal block that basically numbs you from your midsection all the way down, and twilight sleep. And that is how I had my hip revision. I felt nothing. And I woke up 15 minutes after my surgery was over. That's also a big one. So before, it would take, I was usually in the recovery room for several hours because my heart rate plummets. And my blood pressure plummets, and then I would be so sick. 15 minutes after my surgery was over, I was wide awake with no pain, no vomiting, nothing. So that to me is humongous, and that has everything to do with me losing weight. Okay, so that was a big one. Second thing is, I was wearing a regular gown. I wasn't wearing just like an absolutely humongous gown, which would have been the norm for me. So that was good. Trying to remember all these NSVs is a little hard, but another one of the really great things about having lost as much weight as I have so far is that the recovery to this point has been so much better. Again, it's hard to explain, but I only have my former experiences and I have a lot of them to go from. But being able to move my body and get out of bed and get going much faster. I mean, usually I was in the hospital for 3 or 4 days, and then I would go to a skilled nursing facility for usually another 3 days. So it was a week. It was always a week. I am home 2 days after having this surgery. So that's just huge. And that is every bit to do with weight loss, because I physically could not move my body before. My body was so heavy, I was not strong enough to move my body to get going after a surgery like this. So amazing, right? I'm so thankful for all of that. Now, I will tell you the hip revision was way worse. Hi, kitty. That's my kitty Mason. He's got one eye. I will tell you that the hip revision was way more extensive. So they did not have to dig out the stem of my old revision, thank God. But they did have to replace the cup, which was completely loose. It was not attached. Hi, buddy. And the liner and the femoral ball head. So all those parts had to be replaced. And then, as my doctor said, because I was such a mess inside there was a sludge, for lack of a better term, that has eaten away at my bone tissue, not just in my femur, but also in my pelvis. And that's why my cup had was coming loose as well. So it's not a great prognosis, guys. I have zero muscle tissue left in that hip. And so my doctor is extremely concerned about hip dislocation issues. And we are, he told me he oversewed the muscle, meaning that what was there, sorry, I'm having to hold this video and do this, so I apologize. And my animals are just, don't mind them. So he oversewed the muscle tissue to try to encapsulate what he could, but basically it's a very scary situation. So we're going to just take it one day at a time. And I have home health coming today to start home physical therapy with me. And, we're just going to take it one day at a time. I'm trying really hard not to stress about it, because it is what it is. And we're keeping our fingers crossed that I will have some bone regrowth, because the doctor has indicated that, that the bone tissue is in bad shape. So, yeah. All right. So as far as a weight loss video is concerned, this is not a whole lot of information about my duodenal switch, but really to tell you that to lose the weight, to make this recovery so much different than all of the other ones that I've experienced is the biggest NSV out there for me. I am not in pain. Oh, here's another one. Because I don't really have a whole lot of fat left in my thigh, my incision is big, and I'm going to insert a picture at the end of this of my incision. I mean, it's really big, guys. But before my incision, I would be draining fat and blood and liquids out of my incision like you can't believe, like to the point where it would soak the pads that they had covering it, soak all my clothing in this yellowish red fatty fluids. I don't have that. I had minimal blood loss during the surgery. I mean, he said, even though it was difficult to do it because of what had to be done, he said he power washed the inside of my leg, which is kind of gross, but he had to get that sludge out. But he was like, it was just so much clearer. You know, his field of vision wasn't full of fatty fluids and fat and everything else. So, guys, you know, if you're considering having weight loss surgery of any type, some of the benefits you won't even realize. I'm going to cry. I'm really emotional. You know, there's benefits that you see outwardly as far as your size being smaller, and there's benefits you'll see, you know, whether it be diabetes, high blood pressure, whatever it is that you have, whatever your comorbidities are that you have, but some of them are non-tangible in a way. I don't want to bawl. So yeah, I mean, that's amazing to me. It's amazing to me, and that's because I lost weight. It is not because of anything else. I would not be sitting here in my home at 4:45 in the morning, whatever time it is. I would still be in the hospital and most likely not home for Christmas. So that's it. I do want to say a couple words before I hang up here and end this, but you know, thank you to so many of you out there. Kristen at Asta Cielo y Mas, Joni at Smiling Shrinkin', Ada at Switched Rican. Oh golly, there's so many, and I'm so sorry if I'm forgetting, but you guys have been so wonderfully supportive, and you've reached out to me, and I have appreciated it so very, very much. And I do have a lot of new subscribers, which is really kind of fun at this point and at this stage to have a bunch of new subscribers that have found my channel for this not so fun time of the year for me. But thank you all for joining. And if you guys have any questions, let me know about anything, about my surgery, about the weight loss surgery, about anything. That'd be great. So right now, guys, I am eyes on the prize to heal, so I am well enough to go on my own to WLSFA in San Antonio in June. So right now, that's where I'm looking. That's what I'm looking at. So I will talk to you guys very soon. Love you all. Have a great week. Bye-bye.